we've got only a few minutes left. I know that you've got people that you're meeting downstairs as you're building more friendships. Your phone's ringing, my phone's ringing, your phone's probably buzzing in your pocket. Let's do a little bit of rapid fire. I got a few questions that I think, as I listen to this amazing conversation of role playing, that somebody listening to this may have. Number one, can we do a quick role play on the three-way call? Because to me that sounds like, well, what does that sound like? You know, how quickly I could be the three-way person, you're the prospect, you're the presenter. Okay. Let's do that real quick.
So you and I are talking, let's say, we haven't talked about the business yet, but let's talk about the Vikings guy first. So you're having that conversation about the Vikings. So I'm saying, what's your favorite football team?
It's the Vikings, and I'm so excited about this season because they've won a lot of games.
The Vikings? Oh my gosh, oh gosh. Hey, hold on for a second. Hey Art, I've got Orion on the phone right now. I haven't really talked to him at all about the business, but don't bring it up. But man, you're not going to believe this, he's a Vikings fan.
Oh, so you like Brett Favre.
So then I'll say, hey Orion, I got my buddy Art on the phone. Art's a Vikings fan too. I want to get him to talk to you because I can't stand them. Hey Art, this is Orion.
All right, so do you like Brett Favre being the quarterback this year since it's the first season with the Vikings?
I'm really excited about that.
And then we can just have how long would that conversation go?
As long as friendship goes.
Okay.
You know, it might only be 2 minutes. You might have said to me before we got on the phone, Ken, I only got 30 seconds. Yeah, no problem. Then you say, well, listen, I got to go. And I won't even mention, you know, Art's in the business or anything because it was about the Vikings.
Right.
And it'll be that simple.
And because we've done a few phone calls, I'll know to tell you. If I only have 30 seconds, I know, okay, Ken's calling me with a friend, and I need to let Ken know. It's about 30 seconds, or if I don't say 30 seconds, that means I can talk. I'm sitting in the pool, I've got 5 minutes.
Right.
So that's through the culture of three-way calls that happens.
And if he's only got 30 seconds, will you mention that to me?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, because it's just about friendship. Or I might, like at first I might say, I got Art on the phone, sorry for doing this to you, joking around about Art, you know, into freeway calling and all that, or sorry, into the Vikings and all that stuff too. Now, different scenario though, if it's a business-related call. So let's say we had a scheduled time and you had looked at the website, and this is my follow-up now. I'll have called you, I'll have booked the time with you, yeah. And you've said, okay, I get home from mailing from the postal route at 3:30, so I'll have tried to get it around 5 o'clock because I know you're relaxed now, and if you didn't look at the information, you're going to have a bit of time. But I'll say, okay, I'll call you at 5 o'clock tomorrow, and listen, Orion, I promise I'll call you right at 5 o'clock because I know how busy you are, and I'll make sure that everything is set up for our conversation. So expect my call right at 5 o'clock.
Okay.
And then when I call you now, Art, what I'm going to do is I know I always have a list of 15 or 20 people in my company that I do three-way calls with, and I know everything about them. So I'll say, okay, he's a Vikings fan, he's a postman, who do I know? Okay, Art. Art delivers newspapers and he likes the Vikings. Hey, Art, I'll call you up. You got time for a three-way tomorrow at 5?
Absolutely.
All right, so now that you do, I'll say, okay, we're calling Orion. He's just looked at the website for the first time. He's a Vikings fan. He's a post guy. And I'll call you at 5 to 5 and we'll review everything. Now, if you say, no, I don't, fine, I'll go to the next person. I've got 15 people. I'll find somebody to do the three-way call.
Right. And notice here that you might be thinking, well, how does Ken keep track of all 15 people and what they know and what they don't know? Because they're 15 friends. And ask yourself, of the last 10 good friends you have, you know a lot about them. You don't have to keep that in the database and so forth. Quickly, one of the things I think that will come up here is where you're doing success compression and friendshipping. I mean, you're going friendshipping, but you're transitioning into let me show the business pretty quickly.
Right.
How do you do that without feeling that you're being rude? Because obviously one of the negatives is our profession is, network marketers, they show up out of nowhere. Hey, we were high school buddies and look at my business. Or do you feel that that's being rude? Or do you feel like, hey, my business is so powerful, this person probably needs it, I'm just doing my job?
Sounds like somebody might have a little bit of a problem with confidence and self-belief.
Okay, so that's where that comes from.
Then if you feel that way, then you need to go back to those 5 levels of belief, find a good mentor, and build your belief. Because I don't ever feel like I'm being rude or I'm pushing them into it, because I'm truly, in my heart, building a friendship with somebody.
Okay, next step. I've noticed that some people, they will not transition because they don't know what to do next with the person. So there's the fear of, if I sponsor this person, what do I do next? And what I've noticed is that there's always a next step in your system. So if somebody on your team makes a call and they're not making a living, because at one point you said, my family's making a living off of this income, but they haven't, they're not doing that, what's the conversation for them?
You know, so what I would say then is I would just talk about the passion of being new. Hey, listen, I'd like you to get involved in this with me. I've just gotten involved myself, and I'm having a blast, and all I'm doing is using this product. And I think we could do well at this together. You know, everybody does better at things when they do it as part of a team. Man, if I was going to put together a dream team, I'd want you on it. Can you be part of this with me?
Okay, so you can focus back on the team. If you don't have a step of what to do next, you're creating friendships and you're just really not confident that you're about to sponsor a doctor, you sponsor the person at the front desk here, then that's a missing, what I found. If you don't know what to do next, then you're probably not going to want to sponsor them because you're going to feel responsible for them without having the next
Absolutely.
step. The other part of this is what I found is that you're helping people create friends. Three-way call, three-way call, three-way call. And one of the big missings in society that I'm finding is people don't have enough friends. So they're actually looking to have more friends.
Right.
And you're filling that need through your process of friendshipping and connecting them with others.
If you go back to any of the modern philosophies on relationships from the greats like Maslow and all these gurus of relationships and of hierarchies and needs, well, you're going to find that the base of all needs is community and friendship. So just by offering friendship and wanting to build friendship, it's going to make you feel better. If you go out every day and you build 2 new friendships, your personal confidence is going to go up. Even if you never talk about network marketing, because you're fulfilling that base need.
How quickly do you want to move the next exposure to a person-to-person meeting? How important is that to Ken Dunn?
It happens at the rate that they want to do it. I don't ever think about how quickly it's going to happen. I've got so many people. I've got 20 new people every day I'm talking to. Those friendships will go. And here's the other thing. If somebody slips through the cracks in the process because they weren't responding fast enough or they didn't feel good about it or something didn't happen the right way, well, that's likely because there wasn't really a good friendship connection anyway, so don't worry about it. Don't feel bad about yourself for it.
So what I want you to notice is that I'm asking a lot of tactician questions at this point, and I did this on purpose because many of you are thinking, well, how do I do this? And how long is the conversation? 30 seconds, 45 minutes, and when do I take the next step? And the reality is you're building friendships, you're developing culture, and there aren't that many specifics to it. You're just looking for the end result, build a friendship, deliver the information, and let them decide.
You know, the only tactician-related point that I would have is that in the process, whatever you decide to do it consistently. Because how you do it to them is how they're going to do it to others. Training in our industry is what happens to you as you're recruited.
And here is just one final from me. So let's say that our role play didn't go quite as well, and I actually didn't watch the information you sent me. At what point will you bring the business up again?
You know, I'll ask if there's an interest. So if you say, I call you back, did you look at it? No, I didn't really have time. Well, is it something you're interested in? Because I just need your opinion on it. If you're not interested, that's fine too.
Well, in my life right now, I don't know if I'm really open to something.
Oh, okay, cool. Let's go have a coffee then, because if you're feeling down and out, then I know I can make fun of those Vikings pretty easy. Because here's the thing. This is a pivotal point. I believe, and hear this clearly, every single person I talk to will join my business when it's the right day for them. And if I avoid offending people, and that's why you don't handle objections and you don't push too hard, then that leaves the door open so that when I call them back in a month, I could catch them on the right day. Hey, let's look at the lottery. Let's say you just won the Florida Megabucks Super Duper $600 million cash jackpot. Would you join the business that day?
Probably not.
Yeah, but 98% of people that join the lottery are broke within 2 years, regardless of the amount they win. So if I stay in touch with you every month and I just happen to call you the day you got your eviction notice from your apartment you're renting, will you join the business?
Of course.
You're more likely to, because now you've tasted the money and you're hungry, but I stayed in touch with you through that process.
Definitely. And is that about once a month, once a quarter, once a week, depending on how lively the friendship is?
Yeah, you know what, if it's a really strong friendship that's growing, even if they're not in the business, it's going to be a lot more than once a month, isn't it? Because it's just friendship. If it's not somebody that the friendship is going so strong, but you see the potential, then once a month is fine.
Yeah. Again, you're building a friendship. Just look back. How excited are you about having a friendship with this person? All right. Number one, what I've definitely noticed about you, and I was talking to Peter in your group. He said, "Well, what's the difference between Ken and everybody else out there that creates success?" One thing I've noticed about you, Ken Dunn, is that you are always in action. Action, action, action trumps almost everything in your life, it seems. Would that be accurate?
You know what, I went through a period of my life that is not a fun experience for me to talk about, but it's a very true experience. And back in 2004, I literally had no friends. I was abandoned, and I caused a lot of pain to a lot of people. And I decided that for the rest of my life, I'm going to go out there and make friends and try and have as many friends as humanly possible. That's all that's important to me. So that doesn't just exist from 12 till 2 in the afternoon. If my wife and I are out at the shopping mall and I see somebody I want to talk to, I do it. And she has no issue with it because she knows I'm just creating friendships.
And it's a core value for you.
Absolutely.
You absolutely have that core value. Okay, well, Orion Sala, thanks for being an amazing Viking fan.
It's in my roots, you know. I'm from Norway.
You're from Norway, so it's a great team to root for. Ken, thank you for taking time today to have this conversation and being willing to put it on a recording so that people outside of your team, Orion, people outside of my team can go and leverage this information. I'm always working on me so I can get better, Ken Dunn. I know you're always working on you to get better. You even mentioned it, Orion. You and I, we've known each other for decades almost. We're always working on ourselves. And as you're listening to this, I hope that you are always working on you, on building friendships, reading the right books, because you're the project ultimately. Go out and make 1 million friends.
Fantastic. Thank you, Art.